Hi, I'm Natalie Dedwell, and today I'd like to share with you how to use the law of attraction to create wealth. So when you think of, if you say the word money, how does that make you feel? If I was to show you this $100 note, how does it feel when you see this money? What thoughts come up for you? Does it make you feel free and peaceful and happy? Or do you feel stressed and overwhelmed? See, here's the thing. Even though money is an essential ingredient to our happiness and well-being, there's a lot of negativity surrounding money itself. In fact, many people feel ashamed and even guilty simply by saying the word money. Now, in the personal development world, I see this happening a lot. We tend to think that, or say things like, I want to manifest abundance, because somehow abundance is a more spiritual word than money. But the truth is, money, wealth, abundance, or whatever you want to call it, all it is simply energy. And when we align our mindset with this energy, we attract more of it. You see, many people believe that you cannot be financially successful and spiritual at the same time. So what do you think about that? Do you also struggle with this limiting belief? I know I used to. I used to think that I was spiritual, so I didn't really need money. Or that I had enough and that somebody else could have it. It was like as if I had it, someone else was going without. But we live in an abundant universe, and that's scarcity thinking. And I had to do some work to actually get beyond that. So what is it that you think? Well, and speaking as a highly spiritual person who is also financially successful, I'm here to tell you that you can have both. And let's face it, the people that are spiritually aware and are looking at all the things and how they can help humanity are the people that should have the money anyway, don't you think? So here are 10 steps that you can do to move beyond your old limiting money beliefs and use the law of attraction to create a wildly abundant life with tons of money and happiness and friends and everything else that you deserve. So step number 1 is to visualize your definition of what tons of money is. So the first step to manifesting money, obviously, is having a clear visual of what wealth represents to you. Is it having $1 million? Is it having a big house? Or is it being debt-free? So whenever we're doing any kind of visualization about money, remember, our visualizations need to have some emotion attached to it. Emotion is the frequency that we're sending out into the universe. And so when we have an emotion or a frequency of wealth, then that's what attracted back to us. So when you're doing your visualizations, it's not necessarily a pile of cash that you're visualizing, because that doesn't really invoke a whole lot of emotion. Except if you're naked rolling around in the cash, then that may be a different thing. But what you're doing is visualizing what the money represents to you, what you'll do with the money, and how it's going to change the life for yourself and for your loved ones as well. So get a clear picture about what that is. Now, step number 2 is to be mindful of your thoughts and your words when it comes to concerning money. Did you know that every time that you speak negatively about your financial situation or act from scarcity, you actually lower your vibration? That is not the vibration of abundance. Vibration of abundance is high vibrational emotions. So things like gratitude, happiness, things like being relieved, feeling accomplished, all of these higher vibrational emotions. So remember, your words and your thoughts are so powerful that they actually create the actions that will ultimately impact your life in a positive or a negative way. So you want to make sure that you choose your words wisely. So sometimes it can be really easy to engage in conversations about lack, about the debt that we have, especially when we're in debt. We complain about our financial situation. We talk about it to others. But if you catch yourself doing this, try and use phrases that actually are the opposite of that. So let's say that you're looking to buy something, or someone suggests that you go on a trip or whatever that is, and instead of going, I can't afford it, I don't have the money, I can't do that, then use phrases like I choose not to invest in that right now, or it could be something like that's just not a priority for me right now. Or it could be something like, just not yet, rather than I can't afford it. So what you're doing is shifting your language just to being in a place where abundance is coming in just by shifting a few of the words rather than focusing on the fact that you don't have the money at this point in time. Okay, so step number 3 is to get really comfortable about talking about money. You know, sometimes talking about money with your spouse or your friends can feel really uncomfortable, especially if you were taught when you were younger that discussing money doesn't make polite conversation. For me, I know what would happen with Glenn when we were married is that we'd have these conversations around money, and it would always turn into this like really angsty, stressful kind of a conversation. And it seemed to be unnecessary that we would go down to that emotion. But what I realized is, you know, I grew up in a family of 8 children, you know, and we weren't poor, but, you know, money was tight. And so if there was any stress at home, a lot of the times it was around money. And so what I was unconsciously doing was emulating my parents' behavior because that's what was modeled for me when I was younger. So once I realized that's what I was doing, I was able to shift and change the conversation and get more comfortable about talking about money. The thing is, when you open up this line of communication with people that you can trust, you can learn about it, you can ask questions, you can understand it better. And what they also do is they help to influence you with their opinions and the way that they look at money differently than you do. And if you're not comfortable talking about it, chances are you're not going to attract a whole lot of it either. Okay, so step number 4 is to be clear about what you'll do with the money. You know, ask questions like, how can I contribute to myself, my family, my community, and those around me if I can enhance my abundance to the point where I cannot just provide just for me and my best needs, but I also have enough to share. Like I was saying before, when we think about the money and the wealth that we want to create in our lives, it's not necessarily the money itself, but what it represents. And it's like having a goal that's an extrinsic goal that's outside of you. Sometimes that's just the motivation that you need to just go that step further, to get up that half an hour earlier, to do whatever it takes to be able to create the life that you want in your world, because you're not doing it just for you, you're doing it for the greater good, and you're doing it for the people that you love as well. Okay, so step number 5 is be grateful for the wealth that's coming your way by practicing affirmations. When we are grateful for things before they even arrive in our reality, what we're doing is surrounding that future result with belief, with expectation, and with gratitude. So these are all higher frequency emotions. And the more that we can do that, the more we're putting the evidence out into the universe that, you know what, it's already done. I don't have to worry about it. And I know that it's coming my way. So after you defined how money can contribute to your happiness and well-being, make a list in the form of affirmations. So you could write affirmations like, I love money because it helps me meet my commitments. Or it helps me more than meet my commitments. It could be something like, I love money because it enables me to travel the world. You know, I love money because it allows me to do so much good in the world. So really look at what it is that you want to do with the money, create affirmations around it. And when you recite these affirmations, do it with these higher level emotions, the higher frequency emotions, to really become that vibrational match to abundance. Okay, step number 6 is to trust the universe has your back. So if everything is in alignment, if you know what it is that you want, you've set this strong intention, you've got a very clear idea of what the money represents and what you'll do with the money when it comes into your life. That you sit in this visualization. You've written out your affirmations, you're using the right language, you're visualizing with emotion and bringing all of these senses in, then you start to take action, any action, in the direction of creating wealth, then you are a complete vibrational match to abundance. And then everything that you need to be able to create that in your life will start to come into your world. The people that you need, the opportunities that you need, the meetings, everything will come into your world because you are already in alignment. Now, step number 7 is to appreciate every moment of the journey, whether it's good or bad, because it's all happening for a reason. So let's say that you know, when we're creating wealth, I mean, we're always creating wealth. It's not like we go, okay, I have a goal of $1 million. And then once you get to $1 million, you go, okay, hands on heads, that's it, no more. Of course, we're always creating wealth, and wealth creates more wealth. It also creates more good and everything else that comes along with that. So there are going to be days where you're having a great success and it's going to be really easy to appreciate those days and those moments. But even when things show up that seem challenging or don't seem like they're in alignment with what it is that you want to create, embrace them as well. Look for the lesson. Look for the opportunity. Look for the ability to be able to look at yourself and go, okay, well, if I'm triggered in this moment or something's coming up for me and this doesn't feel good, or I see that this is a bad situation, where is this coming from? Why do I feel this way? You know, and sometimes something will show up and it's like you think that you're going to create wealth in one particular way, and then, you know, something comes in from the side, you're like, okay, not expecting that. But often that is going to be the way that you get to manifest the wealth that you want. Most times it's never the way that we think. So always be open to those surprising left field opportunities that come along as well. Now, step number 8 is to be thankful for the little things in life. When you can be thankful for everything, when you can count your blessings, when you can get to a point where you'll be walking along the street and you notice a beautiful flower coming up out of the concrete, or when you are so appreciative of the sun that you can feel on your face, or when you're just so happy that you actually have a beautiful car that you can drive into work. You may even be grateful for the driver who let you get past or let them into your lane. Like the cashier that gives you a genuine smile when you pay for your coffee. The smell of the fresh coffee. When you can notice all of these things, acknowledge them and count them as blessings, the more often you do that, the more that you maintain that high frequency. Gratitude is the same frequency as abundance. And the more often that you can maintain that, the easier you are in flow and the easier wealth can flow through to you. So, you know, when you look at all these little things and be grateful for them, it really helps to raise your vibration. Now, before I go, I'd like to ask you, do you have any law of attraction tips that have helped you create the wealth that you want? If you do, I would encourage you, and please share them here in the comment box below, because I know our entire community will be able to benefit from it. We really appreciate that. So my name is Natalie Ledwell, and stay tuned for a new release every Thursday and Saturday. And thanks for watching, and bye for now.